You have to have resilience when you're a nurse because there are so many things that we have to do at times that we don't necessarily agree with, that we don't like to do, we don't feel like doing, but you have to be resilient. Greetings, this is Coach Charlene. Hey, I wanted to just come briefly. I normally have a guest on, and today I'm actually just going to kick off Nurses Week because it is such an important part of who I am. I went into nursing, actually, when I was 17, I decided that I needed to do something different, and we didn't really have money for school, so I decided to join the United States Army. Thus, I signed up for this early entry program, and that led me out of Cleveland, where I was, to boot camp and then training and then to LAMC, the Presidio. And it has been a wonderful journey. I cannot believe it's actually not 39 years later since I started that journey. But it has been a rich journey, an amazing journey, a challenging journey, all of that wrapped up into one. So I thought I would just share a little bit about making a difference, because that's the theme for this year for Nurses Week, is nurses making a difference, because we truly do make a difference every day that we show up to work. And so I was thinking about it. So what has been the secret sauce, so to speak, when it comes to nursing? What has been my secret sauce? How have I sustained myself in the profession for 39 years? Well, I think it definitely boils down to a few key elements. Now, I will not hit all of them because I think there's way more than four, but I thought I would share four different keys of why I believe that I'm still in the profession and even looking beyond where I am now. And so the first one, I really have to say resilience, because resilience, you have to have resilience when you're a nurse, because there are so many things that we have to do at times that we don't necessarily agree with, that we don't like to do, we don't feel like doing, but you have to be resilient. And I think about this even with me being a child, because I don't know, I was young, when you start thinking about, oh, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I used to see my mom in a little nurse outfit. So there were two things that I desired to be, and that was a flight attendant and a nurse. And so obviously a nurse won, but the determination to go to school and do the things that I had to do, because I didn't really have the money to do anything that I needed to do. So I had to think of another way. So I started asking the questions. Okay, I want to do something different. And, I was walking to the mall one day and I saw this sign and it says $25,000 Army College Fund. And quite honestly, that drew me in there. And I literally signed up to go into the United States Army at this, it was kind of like an early entry program that they were doing. And so I signed up, then went on about my business. I think I finished up my last year in school. But what was interesting is I don't really think I knew the brevity of what I was getting ready to do. I signed up, didn't talk to anybody about it at that point. Later on, I finally, when it was almost time to go, talked to my family about it. And my mom and dad, of course, they were like, it was very challenging for them, because here's this little shy, quiet teenager getting ready to go into this big world. Well, I went ahead and did it. And I'm telling you, it was one of the best decisions in my life. And not only did I get the money to be able to start my journey with school, I also got a chance. I got launched into this big, diverse pool of people, because that was not the norm for me. We actually had a segregated community where there was blacks on one side and whites on another side, but that determination to want to do something different, because I think that's what happened. I looked around and I was like, you know what? I don't want to stay here. I want to do something beyond where I am. And I was thinking like that as a teenager. And so that's where, when you start getting that unrest, it's like, okay, there has to be something else out there that I need to pursue, that I need to go find out. And that's literally what I did. So that determination to make it happen, even though I couldn't see how that was going to happen, I just took one step at a time. I never had the finances to do what I needed to do. I had to get loans. I had to go to this community college first. I just did what I knew to do and kept following the path. I kept persisting. I kept doing what needed to be done so that I can get to my end goal. And I basically spent 2 years in City College. Then I got the opportunity to go into USF and do a nursing program there. So that was pretty amazing. And I mean, I'm telling you, 39 years later, I'm still in the game. I'm a nurse leader, but I'm also so much more than that, because what you find on your journey, and that would be my second point. So I told you about resilience. Resilience is key. And I actually like to use the resilience definition. I know it means to bounce back from setbacks, but sometimes bouncing back from setbacks can make an individual bitter, more bitter than they were before they went into it, or it can make you better. And so I'm talking about the resilience that makes you better, meaning the challenges are going to be there. You know, the hardcore, the distractions and all of the things that stop us from doing what we desire to do will be there. That's just part of life. But it's your ability to navigate through those challenges and still look at it in a better light, in a better situation and a better perception. And so to me, that's what resilience is. And HeartMath has a wonderful definition for resilience. And it's the capacity to prepare for, recover from, and adapt in the face of challenge, stress, or adversity. So that's your ability to do all of those three things. And I love that definition because it shows that I have to do the work. I have to prepare for it. That means that I have to make sure that I'm doing something that's going to feed my soul, that's going to take care of my mental health, physical health, spiritual health, all of that. That's the part that I have to do. So when I do that, then I'm more able to adapt in the face of adversity and also to bounce back, also to come back in a better state. So resilience, that was my number one. Now I want to slip into discovery because when you don't know who you are, you just keep doing things. This becomes cyclical. So what I mean by that, I joined the nursing profession. I just started doing the work that I needed to do, start taking care. I was in a neonatal intensive care unit, loved it. Absolutely. Because I felt like I made a difference. Every time a mom would have to leave or a family would have to leave, then I would be there to take care of that baby. I would be there to nurture, to give that baby the support that it needed when in the absence of the parents. And so that felt special to me. I was able to be there in those special moments when that were not so great. You know, there were moments that were searing, quite honestly, that I've had to deal with in the NICU. And so, but the ability to be that person to love, to care for, to help, to assist, advocate, all of the things that we do as nurses has been an absolute blessing in my life. So when I talk about discovery as I'm navigating through my journey as a nurse, I'm excited. Things are going well. I'm like, okay, this is what I wanted to do. This is still feeding my soul. I'm still like loving what I'm doing. And so as you keep journeying on, though, you start discovering that you're someone different. And what I mean by that, I started off really excited, love what I was doing. And then I was a little unrest starting to kind of creep in for me. It was a little bit I was like, okay, so what's going on? I'm feeling this uneasiness. And so then I moved to a different location and got another job as a nurse. That's where I came up here to California. And then I start kind of navigating and something still was not feeling quite right. And then I moved to another organization because that particular organization was 12-hour shifts, and I really needed 8-hour shifts. So I moved to another organization and landed there. And that was wonderful, doing amazing. But, there was this little unrest, that little voice, that little inner voice that tells you, hey, I'm trying to I want you to pay attention to this uneasiness that you're feeling. And that's what made me step up into leadership. the voice was trying to get me to step up into my destiny a little bit further, which was leadership. And so I finally surrendered to the voice and started leading. And why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because with discovery, you have to pay attention to that inner voice of unrest that's on the inside of you, or even if it's frustration, whatever that inner voice is for you. A lot of times it's trying to get you to do something different. It's trying to lean you toward maybe a passion that you have. And I shared one of the ones that I had, and I think it was around 2010, and I had kind of hit this burnout point. But the organization brought in Dr. Gene Watson's Caring Science, and that was like a game changer for me, because that was actually a theory that gave language to the type of care that I was providing that caused me to make a difference every day that I show up to work. And so I just fell in love with the theory itself and became a Caritas coach and a heart math trainer. And so that shifted me on somewhat of a different trajectory, you know? And so I'm still doing my nursing, but then there's these other things that are tugging at my heart that I wanted to be more a part of. And that was amazing, that there was something that could give you that kind of like that life-sustaining force while you navigate as a nurse. And that's what's so wonderful about nursing. You can do like literally anything you want. There's so many different directions that you can go in. There's so many different areas of expertise that you can go into. And I truly think that's why I've been here as long as I've been here. I remember as a kid, I was like, okay, I'm going to be a flight attendant or a nurse. I have no idea. I think I liked how they looked and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, I'm so fulfilled when I did select nursing, because it truly has helped me to see where I really need to be in this world and to see what area I needed to impact. Because as you navigate through your journey, you begin to start noticing things about yourself. And that's why discovery is so important. You have to be able to discover where my heart is leaning toward. Because if you don't pay attention to that inner voice that I told you about, to the unrest that I told you about, then some challenges are going to come. You're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel burnt out. You're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't keep doing this, that kind of thing. So I really want you to play around in that discovery mode. If you're starting to feeling a little unrest, I encourage you to do so, because really we make a difference. When we show up in our true, authentic self, we make a difference and we impact those that we were destined to impact. And then the third one I would say is manifestation, self-manifestation. So once I find out that superpower that I have, I start finding out my strengths, I start finding out the things that really are drawing me, then I have to start actually doing some of those things. I can't just think about it, because you got to keep your vision alive. You got to find ways to do what aligns with your soul's purpose, your life's purpose, while you're doing what you're doing. I had wrote a chapter in this book by Coach Shea, and it was birthing while working, because I believe that some people are called to do some other things in addition to the work that they're doing. See, I see it as a job and as work. A job is something that you're going to work and you're just getting paid to do what you do. Work is quite more meaningful. And so work actually is something that you were destined to do, that you don't mind doing, that you don't mind even doing for free. So there's a distinction there. And work is what I was called to do. I was called to transform self and systems and bring inspiration and light the fire within versus underneath. See, I know what I've done the work, so I know where my superpower is. And so manifestation is, you just have to find ways while you're doing what you're doing to align your purpose to that. Find some things that you can do to start. If it's teaching, start teaching here. Start doing things that you love to do. If it's doing quality work, start doing the things that your heart is speaking to you to do. And then the last one is emergence. Allow who you are to emerge with why you are here on this earth and what you are doing. So let me say that again. So allow who you are to merge with why you are here on this earth and what you are doing. So it's the who you are, why you are, and what you do. See, if you can align those three things up, and when you do self discovery, you begin to find out, okay, who am I really? Yes, I'm my profession as a nurse, but who am I really? And then am I doing the things that I believe that are in my heart to do? And then the task that I'm doing, can I align my true authentic self to be fully me and to be excellent in the things and the people that I serve? So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed that short little nugget, but that was my why for nursing. I think nursing is an amazing profession. I have been truly blessed by the profession. And, with Caring Science, one of the things that I found that I was very creative when it came to, because Caring Science helps you to tap into the art um, in addition to the science, but the art becomes creative and more expressive and kind of is the secret sauce. It's the soft tissue type of thing. But what I noticed is I'm able to get like these little, I call them aesthetic expressions. And so I wrote one for Nurses Week, and I'm going to dedicate this one to every one of you out there making a difference, since the theme is making a difference. So it says, the name of it is Oh, to be the one. To be the one in a time of need. Oh, to be the one. To be the one when everyone else is gone. Oh, to be the one. To be the one during the first breath, or maybe during the last breath. Oh, to be the one. To be the one to hold your tears, to hold your fears. Oh, to be the one. To be the one, whether in extreme laughter or maybe in deep sorrow. Oh, to be the one. To be the one to balance task with presence. Oh, to be the one. To be the one who fought through personal challenge. To be here ready to care. Oh, to be the one. To be the one, even though at times empty. Oh, to be the one. To be the one to advocate, to be able to be the voice for, to protect. Oh, to be the one, to be the one to touch a life, to be in silence, to hold a hand. Oh, to be the one to share heartbeats, to be the one to create memories, to be the one to love beyond. Oh, to be the one. To be the one who makes a difference, because we are the ones. Happy Nurses Week to all of the nurses around the world. You truly are loved and appreciated for what you do every day. I thank you for being the one.